scared, like I'm gonna say something bad about y'all, but y'all emotional. That's some scary shit. Look at me. I'm a little fake converted, married to a Jew, speeding about 60 in the 40 with speed traps. And even though my old man's working and probably doing some dude up the booty, and he'll pay the tickets, and I don't care. That's why I'm an airhead. Look at me. I just saw too many of them. I grew up with all the melanated people that belong to this land living in big ass houses. Most of the pale skins didn't. That was some of their affirmative, not our affirmative action. That was their affirmative action when they gave them food stamps, all kind of land, this, that, and other. Not land rights or deeds like our people. So they could build them up into this prosperitous problematic false narrative. So they can destroy the country. That's why they did it. And they don't even know how to they don't know how to do nothing. And then allow them to convert to an ideology that don't even belong to them, and make sure they're ignorant based on Hollywood narratives. It's all day I've been seeing these. And you know what's funny? Everywhere I go on my land, in this continent, in the old world, Asia Superior, every time I see these Jewish men who I know too much about, these Ashkenazis or Kazakh or whatever you want to call them, these converts, because there's so many different ones. I always see all these black gay men. And I gotta say black, because they're without their melanin. They're without anything. Everywhere. It fits a pattern. Because I remember going to the nightlights, Greenwich Village, Ironbound section, all that. Even in Jersey, everywhere. You know, when I took my sister out, she's gay, and she liked to party. So wherever she want to go, I go. As long as they ain't all men now, we ain't doing that. I don't mind being around all them lesbian women, but it's the same thing everywhere. Mallorca, Spain, Palma, Spain, Cannes, France, Toulon, France. It don't matter what I name, even in Germany. Belgrade, Kiel, it don't matter. I could Denmark, Amsterdam, everywhere. Holland, everywhere. Holland, Amsterdam, everywhere. Everywhere I've been. It's the same thing. And if you know it, you look for it, you see it. England, everywhere. Bad disease, a plague, parasitical, needs to be cut out. But who am I to say or do or whatever? I'm not here to do none of that. If I was here to do that, y'all wouldn't know me. Y'all wouldn't see me on YouTube. I wouldn't even have a damn cell phone. Shit, I wouldn't be driving with this big thing on here. I wouldn't have met T. I wouldn't have met raggedy ass sell out ganja. I wouldn't have met, wonderful brothers on West Side, Trauma Hawk. Hell, y'all wouldn't even know who I was. Because I'd have been handling business, if that's what I was here for, trust me. Oh, there are those. I'm not here for that. That's why I laugh every time they pay attention to what I'm saying. I find it funny, egregious, yes. I find it very funny. All the shit attempt it. They stupid selves. It's a pattern, and it's deep. Well, I know more, but I don't have to say more. Mindless. So I chat about with a doctor I know. I couldn't bring the cell phone. I had to meet him, stand it off out of a camera, and he says, if your foot's still hurting, and I told him where I was hurting at, like a bastard, right in the joint though. And he says, he says, between the time, he says, that's not gout. I said, I know, but you know what? Those bastards over there didn't even do a uric acid test. They didn't do shit for my blood, anything. And he says, no, man. So, wait till Monday. I'm heading up north to do some camping. I just want to get away from all the peoples and stupidity. I have so much to offer and give. I can't give it to everybody. It's not the way it is. Some people, they get to a place and they, I always say, if you think you know too much, I stop. I don't have to tell you, I stop. I ain't got to tell you nothing. I know if you think you know too much, I just stop. Because I obviously know you don't really know nothing. And patience is not a virtue. Patience is not a virtue. Patience and impatience is actually nothing. Choices, that's all they are. Based on y'all's dilemma of time. But anywho, I went and picked up my buddy heater. I got my tent. I just want to crash out. Bought me a big old bear spray. There's no bear here, but I could use it for other things instead of putting a hole in somebody if they want to come around all drugged up or something. I don't know. I don't want to hurt nobody, but it is what it is. Yeah, man. He was like, I showed him, I took excellent pictures, and I showed him the pictures that I had down. Anyway, I gave them to him. He's like, that is not gout. I was like, I know. I think I broke a couple of bones. I should know what gout looked like. Sad when you're so timid to do the right job because you weren't doing the right job in the first place by poisoning everybody and killing a whole lot of folks, especially when you're a doctor and you didn't take the jab. That means that you know something. And that's where we're at now. And people are paying more and more attention to that. But what I really want to hit on is that 7 grams. You don't turn into this lane, you idiot. And I'm going to teach you a lesson. Monkey ass California driving. 7 grams on 7 grams on there. I'll swing back though. I gotta go over here before I head up. Y'all know all this stuff. Y'all know the years. Ocean Spray, McCormick, Tetley Tea, Campbell's. You know all the name brands that, and the people always say, if you want better, if you want good, you pay more, which is all a lie. All those brands people partook in and utilized and consumed and, have always been deadly. Have always been poisonous. They have lawsuits, but the majority of people don't know that they can shut all these imbeciles, this handful of idiots down who are sponsored by BlackRock and so on and so on, these Vanderbilt, these certain Zionist monkeys who are not Jews, by everybody going after them. Looking back at the times you got sick, looking at the times your joints hurt, looking at the times you were confused, dizzy, lightheaded, when your vision was skewed or blurred. Looking at all those times. Y'all can shut all this crap down. Well, they want that anyway. They want to get rid of it. They knew that people would wake up and come around to this time. Sadly, nobody spoke of these specifics early on because most people were pretty ignorant, especially after war. You know what I mean? Families struggling, the VA not doing nothing worth nothing to make sure veterans were helped, killing themselves. Today, IDF soldiers are committing suicide 100 out of 100,000 compared to our 22 to 26 and Europe's 18 to 20, 18, 19, whatever. Even Iran, it's got a pretty high number of suicides. They're involved in things. They had people go and fight us, and you know, you would think that people would have realized this sooner. You know what I'm saying? You would think that people would have thought about this long ago. I was talking to a guy. I think he might have watched a couple of my videos, because I said, "What are you?" He looked, and I could tell he's one of them fake Jews. Well, I wasn't there to be nasty and discredit him or whatever. He said, "Yeah." I said, "You're from California, aren't you?" I know the accent. I said, and I asked him, "When did you get here?" I said, "It's funny. Here, there's a whole lot of y'all just showed up out of nowhere after these fake presidents and all that stuff." I says, "And none of y'all got the jab, the itchy owie, huh?" So the word was going around, just like those 5 little monkeys dancing around when the towers came down. The fake ass art students that went in there and they were putting damn thermite paint and detonation cords and bombs inside the building. I said they made sure y'all knew to come over here to prepare for whatever. And he just looked down. He ain't say nothing. Now see, there's a lot of good old boys here. They don't, like I told y'all, they don't say a whole lot. I don't know what's their background, what they work, CEO, whatever. I don't know nothing about that. But I know that they're aware of them. Am I spilling the tea? Am I snitch? How can I be? This is my land. If y'all don't do dumb and stupid shit, and I'll find out. You think I'm not gonna talk about it? You better be quiet. But I'm no names. I can't put faces to names and names to faces. But there's a lot of bad things going on, and people starting to notice this everywhere. You know? It takes me back to Arthur Kessler's 13th Tribe. When the real war started, remember in the so-called 4th century they disappeared, or 6th century they disappeared, which would be what all considered the 1700s or whatever. And then all of a sudden, we got all these different things. And here we got the same thing happening again. It's like that now all over the TV and the news, they're saying Zionism is dead. It's the same damn mapped out nonsense again. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And now you got all these new indoctrinated goofies. And look, y'all need to hear this. They actually have people believing that they're us. They have conditioned them from their youth. I'm not gonna call them younglings. Okay? They've got them believing, and that means lack of truth and knowledge, that they are us. All right? They really think they're us. They really think that y'all black and you're out of Africa. That's how stupid these individuals are. And the Zionists love it because they know better. You know what I mean? Not just Mexico, that Jewish woman told the Mexican knuckleheads, the ones that still want to talk about this out of Africa. That's why I don't know why you're arguing with these people on these Facebook accounts, because I know who you think they are. Colombia, their president said, "Oh, go ahead." Just said that black people, Afro people have always been here for thousands of years. They're not the only ones. Ecuador. So what's wrong with these little monkeys they still paying to come on these platforms and say all the dumb shit when we know, well, I know who I am. I'm not here to prove shit. I'm just saying, why are some of y'all still arguing with these motherfuckers? I can go through people's little stuff they send me, Wild Indian and a few other people, and sent me some stuff in Messenger that I have Instagram. And so I was able to actually see some stuff in comments, surprisingly. And people are still arguing with these fools, trying to prove something with them. Something's wrong with our people, and it's bad. You have a lot of so-called Latino brothers, Spanish speaking, I'll say that. I hate calling people Latino. This ain't Latin America. This ain't Latino. Spanish speaking brothers who are very aware, and pale skins and Chinese, if you want to call them that, and Koreans who are up and they realize they don't learn a whole lot more shit than these dumb niggas in New York that's still selling people, all these liberal-minded motherfuckers going against Curtis Lee and all these other ones. Curtis Lee was probably the only honest Italian Jew I know. I worked for him as a guardian angel for a long time. But whenever you see one of these lack-worthy, slacking, worthless-ass Negroes, right? It don't matter where, Texas, California, New York, Jersey, it don't matter. If they got a big mouth with a silver tongue, whether in prison or swinging a red and white candy striped cane or doing some goofy ass cute dog shit, no, that's where your fucking problem lays. And they ain't even 1%. I would like to see y'all snap about your coma. A lot of you. But the world's saying, I know German people and Deutschland people, you know, Swedish people. They know exactly who the American so-called Negro misname, except for you monkeys on our land. Why y'all so damn stupid? I even knew Australian brother who was half, you know, I guess his grandma might have been raped, a great grandma, and grandma married, she looked a little different, and I got with some whatever the fuck. And so he kind of looked, he was a Mormon. And even he knew. Oh, yeah, a lot of us know who y'all are. I used to see him on the res, come over there with that knocking on the door shit. When I teaching them how to defend themselves against getting stabbed at Navajo doors. And there are a bunch of Native Americans, just because you don't see them on platforms, who know exactly who you are. And they've spoken up. Told you I had some veterans, a couple of them that married sisters from Jamaica and Jersey and Virginia. They didn't want to go back to the res. They said they were living a lie for far too long. After the military, they knew it. They disowned their family. You won't hear them say that. You won't see them come over here and challenge me. Because I'll gobble their worthless behind up. Appreciate the donations, niece, and well, there's a few of you. Later on, I come on and read. I'll go ahead and I'll mention your names. I appreciate you guys. But I'm gonna go ahead. There's 3 sites I'm looking at that I want to stay tonight. Maybe Pop's leaving. He's hiding a kite too. He could smoke some weed. I don't know how he do it. Anyway, 67 years old. That's the one that ate Dolly Parton out. Oh, the pictures, yeah, in a bar, drunk. In that van, in that love van. On the bar thing. That's him. He a handyman and a half. But boy, you talk about crazy. But anywho, right? Yeah, I know all kind of folks. Literally, he is the one. Dolly Parton, their young days, and they're young. The trouble he been in, all the locking up, and his cousin owned Safeway, had her legs up. I know some peoples, y'all. And my boy's over there still with, I think he got the kayak. That was this is an adult conversation. My apologies. Yo, Righteous Tay, Sharon, what's up, mama? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, Factor? So, what are we talking about? It's just some random stuff, man. Aresamaya, what's happening? Shalom. My apologies. Y'all know how y'all doing. Alito Chimchukman, what's going on? Grandest to you, mama. What was it like working with Russell? I don't know. Ask your mama. What was it like working with me in them porns? Asian, they go, hey, what's going on? Life goes on, man. Yeah, life goes on. But see, a lot of people are too stupid. So what life? How can life go on if you're dead? A circle, you mean? A loop? The infinite, they got everybody believing this is infinite. When infinite is a never-ending story, a line? Oh, okay. Remember, just 3 years ago, it was a young little sister and little brother that had the highest IQs in the world. All of a sudden, they had to hide that. They didn't want to. It's always been the case. So please, I'm gonna get out, see my peoples before I jet off, and yeah, I'll chat with y'all later. You know, something about this land, my ancestors' land. It touches y'all, and it's poisoning. It's poisoning y'all. That's right, it is. Whether you like it or not, you want to believe it or not. If you came here and you haven't, if you come here with lies and facetious and all this other stuff, it poisons you. Whether they like it, believe it or not. We'll see in it. It poisons them all. Make better choices. I'll let y'all later. Well, let me make sure. Did anybody else come in? Because I know, you know, I want to make sure I can see everybody. Okay. You received 130. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you later, all right? Always good to hear you from everybody.